Extreme Family Outreach is a nonprofit organization that provides community impact programs to elementary and middle school students in Edgewood along the Route 40 corridor in those underserved communities. Join us in the next half an hour as we hear about all the education, all the hope, and the vision that they have to help these kids create bright futures. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. I'm here with Marlon and Steve Gambrill. I'm sure you've seen them out in the community. Marlon is the executive director and Steve is the president, and they're both the founders of Extreme Family Outreach, an amazing nonprofit organization right here in our community, right here in Edgewood, and they're joining me today to tell us all about it. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Now, Steve, tell me about Extreme Family Outreach. For anybody that doesn't know who you are, what are you all about?
Okay, we're a nonprofit. We're a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit, and we go directly in the neighborhoods, right where kids live, and do programs after school, right where the kids live. Many of the kids in the neighborhoods we go to can't get the programs, or their parents don't have transportation, so we try to go as close to them as we possibly can to make a difference in the communities of the most need.
Now, Marlon, tell me, how did you and Steve come together and decide we need to start this organization?
Well, years ago, when we met, we both had a desire to make a difference. And I was a single mom when I met Steve. And actually, he came and taught a class at my church, and I was so impressed with the teacher that I married him. Oh. And then from there, we both realized that we wanted to make an impact, and that's how we got started. We mirror our program off of a program in New York that reaches thousands of kids. So we decided that we were going to go and we were going to learn, and we slept on a gym floor. We went to a boot camp, Steve and I, and Frank and Debbie Wilhelm, and from there we went out into the least of these projects that had a lot of great need, and we learned how to do it.
And Steve, from that experience, you then came up with your own mission statement. So what is the mission statement for Extreme Family Outreach?
Our mission statement is to have a direct impact on children and families by taking our programs into the heart of their communities, providing tools to ensure positive futures.
Well, you have done just that. And Marlon, you do that by offering so many programs and so many opportunities for these kids. How do you do that?
Well, we realized years ago that there was a great need. For parents weren't connected with PTAs, kids were hanging out on the street, and we just wanted to build a bridge to make those connections. Our mission is geared towards prevention, reaching those kids out there, but we realized that constant relationship was important. So from our after-school programs that we did, from there we decided that we were going to do Backpack for Success, that they needed resources so they could be successful. Backpacks for Success, we do summer camps, during the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, we want to make sure they have food during the holidays, they have Christmas gifts, and with that constant relationship back and forth, we're seeing that the needs are being met and the kids are growing up in the program. We create a safe place for them to come.
Well, Steve, last time I interviewed you guys 18 years ago. So tell us, how have things progressed?
Well, things have grown, tremendously. We have a pretty large staff now. We started off with our program, our Scooby-Doo after-school program, where we go right into the communities and set up right where the kids get off the school bus. But as things went along, the kids started growing up, and it's aimed at elementary school age kids, but the middle and high schoolers still wanted to be a part. They knew us all their lives, so we started a youth leadership program. And just from there, we just started doing all these other kind of programs, trying to meet the needs. And we didn't set out for any particular program. It's like we saw the need and we tried to meet the need. And we're trying to teach children to love and respect each other, you know, to get them connected with the church or get them connected with whatever they need. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different need. And the more you get to know people, the more you understand them, and you can do better to help them out that way.
Marlon, so much good has come out of these programs. You've helped so many kids, so many community members. So any particular success stories that stand out in your mind?
Oh my goodness, I mean, even just today, we have like 4 of the kids that grew up in our program, and you'll be talking to them soon. They were like 5 years old when we met them, but throughout the years, they stayed in our program, and now I'm just excited to say that they're employed with us.
Oh, that's great. And Steve, you guys are so unique. What sets you apart from other nonprofits?
What makes us unique is how we go into the neighborhoods. We go right in where the kids live. We don't wait for them to come to us. We don't care that they don't have transportation or anything. So we go right where they get off the school bus, and we'll go anywhere. and the thing is, too, in some of the neighborhoods we go to have kind of a bad reputation. But when we go there, it's like the kids are wonderful. They're loving, they're respectful, they're intelligent, and it just works really great. And we love to take people to see. It says, you know, you'll change your mind about these neighborhoods when you go in and see them. But being part of the neighborhood, that's kind of our thing, building the relationship and being part of Edgewood, Aberdeen, and Havre de Grace.
Steve, I got to bring this up. You're a pretty magical guy. You have a very unique talent. Let's talk about that.
I always work with kids. I did a lot of work with kids at church, which I still do. And I wanted to keep their attention, and I always had and still have an attention problem. I can't pay attention. But when you do something with your hands while you're speaking, it holds their attention so much longer. So I learned to do a magic trick, which was difficult for me because I always had trouble reading. And then from there, I started doing the balloons and many other things. And I put everything together so that I could make presentations speaking about something somebody needs while I'm doing the magic puppets and balloons. And it always helped us to go into a neighborhood and start twisting a balloon or pulling a coin out from behind a kid's ear. They'll all come running. You'll have 50 kids around you in no time. And we've never went in a neighborhood that we weren't successful at. And we might do that at the beginning, but then we have curriculum and we have we have substance things that we teach the kids, because our goal is to get them to be contributing citizens, to be successful in life.
Now, Marlon, anybody that wants to get involved, and why would you not want to get involved? Maybe community members, business partners, how do they do that?
They can go to our website, www.extremefamilyoutreach. They're welcome to call our office, send an email, come in through our door. Come on out and see us out in the community when we're reaching those kids. You know, we reach them when they're young, because it's so important to do that there's gangs out there just trying to get these kids. And we go out there and we let them know that they're important and that we see them and that God loves them and they can do great things. A lot of people would say a lot of those kids hanging out there are hopeless, but they're not. They just need hope. So with community members supporting us, making it possible, we're able to go out there and reach a lot of kids. And I'm just so grateful that we've had the opportunity for 22 years to be out there. We've seen a lot of them grow up, and we're just blessed to see it.
Steve, Marlon, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. And this wonderful couple just shared with me that they see over 400 kids per week. That is absolutely amazing that you guys are out there in these underserved communities doing so much for Harford County. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
And coming up next, we're just in the beginning stages here. We're going to hear more about the programs and some of the kids that have gone through these programs and where they are today. Well, somebody has to keep this place running smoothly, and that is the Director of Operations, Debbie Wilhelm. Debbie, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Debbie, how long have you been involved with Extreme Family Outreach?
Actually, I've been with them from the beginning. We all sat around the table together and said we need to reach out beyond the four walls of the church. We are faith-based, so we knew that we couldn't wait for people to come to us. We had to go out to them.
Well, it seems like you really were motivated to get extreme family outreach off the ground. How did that happen?
Just taking one step at a time, reaching out into the community. We did go to what was called a boot camp in New York City. It was in the projects and the Bronx of New York, and they did a boot camp where this gentleman, Bill Wilson, Metro World Child, goes out and reaches thousands of kids every weekend by doing what they called Sidewalk Sunday School. And their mascot was the Yogi Bear.
Oh.
So they were known as the Yogi Bear program. We have a Scooby-Doo. So that's how we are known here in Harford County as the Scooby-Doo program. So we model what we do, why recreate the wheel when what he was doing was fantastic in the way that he was reaching the kids. So we said, let's do this here. There's a lot of hurting kids right here in Harford County in the at-risk communities. So we model what they do. We took it out into the communities of Harford County.
How have you observed the outreach program really from kitchen table to facility?
Again, one step at a time. We did not have a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. Our plan was to go out beyond the four walls of the church to reach these kids and their families with the love of Christ and to meet their practical needs. They need to know that we care. So we went out there and it was consistency. It wasn't just a one-time go out there, love on them, and they never see us again. But we went out week after week. And the kids got to know us, they open up, the parents open up to us, we become friends, and then we become family.
Oh, I love that. What type of impact aside from that have you witnessed over the years?
Wow, over the years, so we have seen the children grow up to be young adults. And you will be hearing from some of the young adults that used to sit on the tarps, and now we mentor them in a way that is very unique and very special. We hired them, and they are a part of the staff here at Extreme Family Outreach.
Now, the programs that you offered, there's so many of them. Can you kind of elaborate on some of them and what they do?
Sure. Throughout the year, we do our after-school program, which is a 9-week semester in the spring and in the fall. And we go out consistently for 9 weeks. And the same time of the week, we go to 9 different communities within Harford County. And we are there for 1 complete hour. So when they get off the school bus, we are there with the bullhorn, with the music blaring, with the tarps, the hula hoops, the balls. They come running over, they register, and we have rec time with them. We pull them all together. We do group games, music, dance. We teach them a faith-based curriculum, but it is also teaching them to not to bully, to not fall into the gangs, be aware of the gangs, not to fall into drugs, smoking, things that could really hurt them and harm them. And then we do prizes at the end, and we give them snacks at the end, and we send them back home at that point. We do that for 9 consecutive weeks. In between that time, like in the summertime, we have our back to school program where we help the kids with the backpacks and school supplies. So we're there to help them throughout the year. After the fall semester, we fall right into our Holiday of Hope. We give all of our families that are part of the program a complete Thanksgiving dinner. And then we turn around a couple weeks later and we give all the kids in our program, along with their siblings, because we don't want anyone left behind, they all get Christmas presents delivered to them as well. And then in the winter, which we are now, a very cold winter, we go out knocking on the doors and we give them hats, scarves, gloves, coats, whatever they need to keep them warm through the winter. And we do that as well.
Oh, it's amazing how much effort you guys put into the community, and it's so heartwarming. Is there any prerequisites that they need to meet to get into the program?
No, they just come as they are. We love everyone. So there are no limitations. We accept children as, we focus on elementary, but we don't turn any children away. So a lot of them come with preschoolers. They're welcome on the tarp. We have middle schoolers, and we have high schoolers that will hang around the tarp and just listen, and we don't turn anyone away. So, and again, a lot of our children grew up in the program now that we've been in existence for over 20 years. we started a youth leadership program because our kids were getting older, but they didn't want to sit on the tarp, but they didn't want to leave us. So we developed a youth leadership program, and they turn around and help us teach and mentor the kids that are now sitting on their tarp. And the kids really respect them because that's their peers, and they look up to them. So we have close to 50 young people in our leadership program now.
Debbie, thank you so much. You run a fine-oiled machine here, and we are grateful for all that you do.
Oh, thank you. It definitely is teamwork.
Well, yes, teamwork is essential, and a lot of the community and business members have stepped up to help. We'll hear from a few of them coming up next. I'm here with Chris Randlett. He is the owner of Quick Kitchens, Bathrooms, and More. I'm sure you've seen him around. Very giving to the community, and one of the organizations that they give the most to is Extreme Family Outreach. Why? Chris is here to tell us. Hi, Chris.
Hey, what's happening?
Now, Chris, you've been a valued and very loyal partner to Extreme Family Outreach. How did this friendship and partnership first come about?
So, really funny story. I got dragged to church up to Mount Christian Church. I started dating my then girlfriend, now wife. I was never a big church guy, and ended up going to Mount Christian, and really liked it. And we were looking between our family and our company, looking to give back to some type of charity or organization here in Harford County. And I actually ended up knowing the pastor at the church, even though I didn't go there. I coached his kids in football at Fallston Rec, so kind of full circle. And we reached out to him. We're like, hey, we're trying to help out the church or somebody. And he's like, we're good, but we have this organization. It's Extreme Family Outreach. So they kind of put us together, and we've been together ever since.
Oh, that is so great. Like, you have continued to support them, and it's been 20 years?
It's been a while. Yep. Marla and I were just talking about it. She says, how did we meet? And I'm like, I don't know. I told her about the church. She goes, well, I remember the first time I met you, we were at a something for Harford County. It was the Good Neighbor Award or something like that. We were recommended for that, and we won, and they were recommended for their charity. So we met there. She came over, introduced herself, and we've been kind of palling around ever since.
Now, I know that you help them financially, you're a stakeholder, and you really help them to drive change. How do you do that?
So I guess one of the biggest things that we do, well, they have their annual event, so they always have a big gala in March, and then they'll normally have a big golf outing, golf tournament, and I think normally like end of summer, September or something like that. So we're normally helping them with the sponsorship with that, and then we try to get friends and family and business owners to attend these events also. So really kind of bring the community in to help build them up. So I'm really fortunate. I have a great group and network of family and friends that have really all pitched in. A lot of them, I would say probably 15, 20 of my friends and coworkers and business partners have all come and help with Extreme Family Outreach.
Oh, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
And talk about the Holiday of Hope Thanksgiving season. You do so much for that.
Yeah, well, that's a big undertaking. And again, we don't do it all on our own either. So we kind of fill in the gap of whatever they're not able to get through the rest of their year for donations, for Thanksgiving dinners. So I think they normally feed 150 to 200 families. And Marlon, I already know the phone's going to be ringing right like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. She's like, Chris, this is what we need. And she'll email me the list. And I think this year it was like 175 turkeys.
It was. I was just reading that. 175 turkeys. That is insane.
That's a lot of turkey meat. Yeah. So, but we don't do it all on our own. So we do like a little fundraiser between our company, and we'll put a lot of stuff on Facebook and ask our employees to share it. And we raised, not just through Quick Kitchens, but from outside folks helping us, about over $7,000 this year.
Talk about the motivation behind the initiative.
Funny, I'm really, really fortunate. I grew up in Overly, and youngest of 4 boys, and my dad, he worked for BG&E, kind of real blue collar guy. And I'll never forget it. He came home from work one day, and he's like, we have to. I think it was around Christmas. He's like, we have to help these homeless folks. And I'm like, well, that sounds great. What are we going to do? And he's like, well, he had a friend that owned a bar right around the corner, and he went there and got all the leftover whiskey and alcohol that they didn't sell that year down in their basement, got that, and then we went across the street and got cartons of cigarettes and went out and to all the homeless people. We're giving them a bottle of whiskey and some cigarettes. I thought it was nice, but I'm like, Dad, how about if we gave them food? But that's odd. We did it every year for years, and then when I got a little bit older, so he would start listening to me a little bit, I said, why don't we do turkeys? And he goes, all right. So we just started out. We would go down in some not great areas in the city and literally just go blow the horn, and people would come out. We're like, hey, you guys got Thanksgiving dinner? And they're like, what? And they're like, no, we don't have anything. We're like, well, you do now.
Oh.
And we would just give them turkeys, and we'd have all the fixings and give them then as we got older, our kids would do this with us, and we did that for years.
Well, I can't thank you enough for all that you do, and I know that they just love you and adore you here. And like I said, I wish there was more community members like yourself.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm now here with Peter Anastasi, and he is the owner of Pat's Pizzeria in Edgewood, a huge supporter and has been for quite some time of Extreme Family Outreach. He's here to tell us more about his involvement and why he stays involved. Hi, Peter.
Hey, how are you?
Peter, 18 years since you and I have spoken. That is a long time. So let's talk about your involvement with Extreme Family Outreach.
Obviously, it's a very special time for us when these events happen. When the Extreme Family Outreach comes in, it transforms our business. It becomes a vessel of love, everything changes like this. We immediately go into service mode. We see these kids come in full of confidence and excitement, and they experience all the new things that we do there with the breakfast, of course, with Santa, breakfast with the Easter Bunny, and they do face paintings and different crafts and shows. It's amazing to see the effect that this little event has on the kids.
Oh, absolutely. Now, what kind of impact you observe comparing this 18 years ago to the present?
Well, the faces have changed, obviously, but you still see that same look in their eyes when they come, especially in the beginning when they're really young. They're more timid and, shy. But as the years go on, you see these same kids go through the system. They're actually jumping behind the counters, and they're helping, and they're cleaning. And it's a pattern, of you really see what effect it leaves with them.
Oh, absolutely. And what kind of changes do you envision for your business and the community in the future?
Well, I'm excited that these kids that are getting older now are actually joining the workforce, and some of them are volunteering with us. Some have been hired, with Pat's, and we're excited to see where this goes. Maybe have a teaching class one day, or put them behind the counter and let them make the eggs one morning for breakfast. So the future is bright with these kids. I'm very proud of them.
Is there a particular moment or experience that really stands out in your mind?
Well, very grateful for the Extreme Family Outreach to partner with us back then, 18 years ago. But Christmas event is always special to us because I don't know if it's because of the holiday or the spirit of giving, but it's a very emotional time for us then when we see the kids come in totally, totally grateful for the gifts and the magic of Christmas when they come in for breakfast. It just, for us, we like Christmas over the other ones.
Oh my gosh, love
it's
Christmas.
special.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you are just so giving to this organization. What would you say to other businesses to encourage them to do the same?
It's a no-brainer. I mean, if you're in this community, how can you not love the community? So we try to do what we can. We try to make a difference. For us, one slice at a time, as we always say. But to leave our mark on the community and to show them our appreciation for our support, it just seems natural to give back to the community as well.
And not only have you been a wonderful supporter, but you've also really established a great friendship with the people at Extreme Family Outreach. Tell me about that.
We're family. We do a lot of events for Thanksgiving as well. We donate the turkey trays and the ham trays and the mashed potato. Basically whatever they need. They call us and we're there, whatever it takes. because we understand how important it is to give back. You know, there's great people, they're a blessing to this community.
Peter, thank you so much for all you do for Extreme Family Outreach. It means the world to them, the world to the community, and we're lucky to have people like you.
Thank you so much, and appreciate you, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, coming up next, we're going to speak to some of the people from Extreme Family Outreach that are now successfully employed and hear what they have to say.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Perry, and I've been a part of Extreme Family Outreach for 17 years. I remember being a little girl and them teaching me what confidence is and how to stand up and speak out for myself. Extreme Family Outreach has impacted my life in helping me get my GED, helping me go to college, and most importantly, letting me work here as the assistant to the youth leadership director. It has been the most joy to be able to give back into a program that has helped me become the woman I am today.
I am Thomas. I am with Extreme Family Outreach, and I've been with them for many years, for who knows how long. Well, I am very happy that I'm with them because I don't know where I'll be without them sometimes. They offered me a job here when I didn't have one at all, so I'm very grateful for that, because one day they just said, "Would you like a job here?" And I said yes. I took that opportunity and I make the best with it.
Hi, my name is Angela Bush, and my story began with a flyer. That flyer was a flyer of hope, where my family received housing and other necessities we needed in that moment. Fast forward, I became a youth leader where I learned different skills through like career, college, and other skills as well. Fast forward, I went through my apprenticeship through Harford Community College, where I received the title of Child Care Development Specialist, and now I'm working at Extreme Family Outreach, where I'm the administrative assistant and helping where I can. I'm so glad to work at Extreme Family Outreach.
What could be better than a Scooby-Doo mascot? As you've seen today, Extreme Family Outreach has brought so many smiles to the faces of so many young students right here in Edgewood in those underserved communities. If you would like to learn more about them, donate, or even become involved, you can visit them at extremefamilyoutreach.com. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.